Indianapolis, the racing capital of the world. Since 1909, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway has been the undisputed pinnacle of the racing world. This is the place where legends are made and hearts are broken. This is the one race everyone wants to win. For the first time in its 54-year history, the SCCA National Championship Runoffs travels to Indianapolis. With nearly 1,000 entries in 28 different classes, the Runoffs is the biggest auto race in the world. It features the best amateur drivers in the country vying for the title of national champion. One legendary track, one epic race, one shot at glory. The SCCA Runoffs starts now. Welcome to an absolutely glorious afternoon at Indianapolis Motor Speedway for the 54th running of the Sports Car Club of America's National Championship Runoffs. So great to have you with us. So great to be at this venue for this incredible race of champions, quite literally. I'm Greg Creamer, along with Jeff Lepper, and Hayward Wagner will be down in pit lane for us. And this is a pretty amazing facility, certainly. The class coming out, STL Super Touring Lite, is one of the most subscribed here, 57 entries strong. And these are serious race cars, small bore, but serious racing equipment. And it is going to be a battle royale, but something that they have got to tame, Jeff, is the track itself here, the road course at Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and we're looking forward to it. And we're going to, right now, I think, have a look at the Mazda track map for this amazing venue that is about to unfold. First, we start with the Yard of Bricks, and what an amazing shot that is. What an amazing feeling for these drivers, one of which is you.
Yeah, right here on that front straightaway down into turn number 1. Hard right-hander off the oval into the flat through turn number 2. One of those, you get pushed out to the inside of turn number 1. You're going to be on the outside of turn number 2, and there's a gravel trap through there. The little quick kink in 3, hard braking zone in turn number 4, the kink in 5, and then turn 6 where you take a couple different lines through the little hairpin there, going through 6A, the tight right-hander, a lot of run off the room in the left side, switching to concrete, down Hallman Boulevard. You go to this 90-degree left-hander in turn number 7, harder on the brakes, down a couple of gears into the S's, 8, 9, and 10. You get 8 wrong, you're going to get 10 wrong. There's no recovering through the S's. On to turn out of 10, in through 11, coming back onto the oval. A really hard transition up to the wall in between the IndyCar turn 1 and turn 2 here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and another hard on the brakes, right-hander, a big curb on the inside of turn number 12, another dip in a transition, a greater than 90-degree radius turn number 13, and you got to be hard on the acceleration. That's where it starts, your 37-foot front stretch here for our track map presented by Mazda. Yeah, that is just an amazing layout. It's been getting rave reviews. And we talked about this class. Hayward Wagner is down in the pit lane. He's got all the action during the race, but he's got all the insight into these classes. Hayward, tell us a little bit about STL.
Guys, STL is really a fairly new class for SCCA, and I'm going to call it a class of the future. This is your tuner class. This is Hondas, Acuras, Mazdas, a couple of Neons. Motor swaps are allowed here. It's all based on weight and displacement. Your car weight is based on how much displacement you have, so you can get creative, but everybody ends up in a very balanced equation, creates great racing. This is also a class where you see a lot of youth, a lot of enthusiasm, and you're going to see a lot of that carried into turn 1.
Thanks very much, Hayward, and I love the way you put that, a tuner class, and this really is what this is. There's a lot you can do to these cars. As we said, they're small displacement engines, but they are serious race cars, and one of the developments that they've allowed recently is per the rule is you can actually do an engine swap and put a different type of engine as long as it's from the same manufacturer, and that's brought some of these cars to life. And it has to be 2 liters and under. That is the rule here. So you have rotaries and you have the 2-liter under there. And boy, Adam Roberts on the pole position in his Honda CRX. You just saw a good shot of him, but it's one of those, like, you'll see the Honda Civics running the Integra Type R motor. It has to be from the same family of car make and manufacturer. So the Mazda rotaries, you can run a rotary engine, or you can run the Mazda 3 less than 2-liter engine. So it's a really cool tuner category cars. You'll see some wings, some front splitters, some aero. Pretty cool car. Yeah, absolutely. And let's take a look at the top 10 of the grid in this 57 car strong field. And it is starting in the 10th spot is the number 7 of Tyler Chambers out of Dayton, Ohio, doing a great job in the Western Ohio region. In the Hart Honda of America race team Honda Civic, starting in the 9th spot, the number 40 is David Palfinier out of Hinckley, Illinois, out of Chicago region. In the KRS Ignoble Motorsports Mazda Miata, starting in the 8th spot, the number 62 of John Schmidt, a former national champion out of Sunbury, Ohio, in the Ohio Valley region. in the Hoosier HPD and Redline Hawk Brake Honda Prelude. Starting in the 7th spot, the driver who had a good run to the podium and a bronze medal last year. It was a controversial one, but he is always quick. The 36 of Cliff Ira out of Kansas City, Missouri, in the KCR, the Kansas City region. Fira Motorsports Acura Integra GSR, starting 6th, the number 68 of Craig McHaffey out of Walpole, Massachusetts, in the New England region. Flat Out Motorsports Mazda MX-5. His teammate starts 5th, the gentleman who finished just off the podium in 4th last year, the number 37 of Nick Leverone out of Mendon, Massachusetts. Northeastern region as well, Flat Out Motorsports Mazda. The top 2 rows outside of the 2nd row, starting in 4th. In his second start, the 136 of Garrett Dunn in the Dunn's Welding King Motorsports Honda CRX SI. He was a serious contender last year, ended up 5th. And the guy who ended up just missing the gold medal with a strong run to silver starts 3rd, the number 82 of Eric Coutil, Columbus, Ohio Valley region in the Carbotech Auto Assets and Grid Life Honda Civic. In your front row, outside of the front row, number 9, Denny Stain in the Fort Lauderdale, Florida region, Adapt Nelson and OPM G-Lock Mazda MX-5. But on the pole, the 03, you talked about him, Jeff, Adam Roberts out of Hilliard, Ohio, in the Hilliard, Ohio, in the Ohio Valley region, on a speed shop, Meyer Motorsports Honda CRX. And those CRXs aren't exactly new cars, but I'll tell you what, with this class, they've been given new life, and they are serious.
Yeah, most of those engines running the B18 Type R motor in that CRX. And, of course, Sam Meyer is the owner of that car, my old crew chief back in the Grand Am days. So good to see Sam come up here, and he's got that new young driver, Adam Roberts, sitting on pole position in that Myers Motorsports CRX.
Adam coming up through the divisional path to qualify for the runoffs. We can explain that in just a bit, but first, we're going to take a quick break. Stay with us. Green flag coming up for STL. The pace car has made its move to its staging area, the front row, bringing this super touring light field through the final couple of corners to get ready for the run to gold here at the 54th running of the Sports Car Club of America's Runoffs at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. And Adam Roberts, that beautiful black and gold Honda CRX to the inside. Denny Stain, and a vastly experienced competitor in this type of racing. Anything that's got a MX-5 Miata, Denny Stain knows how to wheel it. And you can see in the 2nd row there, I'm surprised Garrett Dunn laying back just a little bit as they start to pack up. That 4th row, little out of a line there. We'll see what happens. But we go green. We are racing in contact right from Stain, and Roberts touched almost immediately, Jeff.
Yeah, they're really stacked up there. I think a lot of people weren't anticipating they were going to get the green. They did, and that really hung up Stain as he goes all the way back to 4th, maybe 5th, but still in that kill zone in the middle of the pack. 4, 5 wide coming down into turn number 1.
And look at this move, Garrett Dunn. Well, I guess he laid back and he had a plan because he made it work. He has gone around the pole sitter. Garrett Dunn 4th to the lead by the time they get to the exit of turn 1. So we have Honda CRXs running 1-2 and floating it out wide there. Good aggressive run here. I think that's Coutil.
Yeah, the number 82, yep.
Yeah, and it's interesting. This year he's opted to run without the wing that he ran on the back of that car last year.
Yeah, had a really wicked back wing that hooked up to his back hatch there and over the roof of that hatchback Civic Si. And you see the number 37, Nick Leverone, and his Flat Out Motorsports Mazda Miata there coming around to that. And Stain happened with Stain. Yeah, Danny Stain is gone. That's a newer MX-5 chassis car. You see they're slow right in the middle of the field. Not sure what happened there, but that's running the still. Has to run the 2-liter MX-5 motor, not the 2.5. Yeah,
he's pulled off to the side. Meanwhile, just saw Adam Roberts, I think, into turn 7, retake the lead from Garrett Dunn. And that's important here. Stain just, I don't know if he's going to try and limp it around to the pits.
Right front.
Or whether he's going to stop. But, yeah, he cut that tire down in that contact. And this is 57 car field. You do not come back from that. But great racing up at the front. As I said, Roberts able to make his way back around and pick up the lead from Garrett Dunn. Eric Coutil, who was so close to the win last year at Mid-Ohio. As a matter of fact, for the last 3 laps, he was alongside your winner, Kevin Bayham, who's not running here this weekend in the carousel. That car seems to get stronger as the race unfolds, but I tell you, these two CRXs are looking good now.
They are, and of course it was only about a 0.3 of a second qualifying gap from Roberts back to Stain. Coutil was his best lap was about 0.3, and maybe 46 thousandths of a second there as the draft playing here locks it up a little bit down there on the inside. You see that big long black stripe. You don't want to do that as, wow, lifting an inside tire too as these little Honda CRXs working their way through turn number 2.
I think Garrett Dunn surprised him. With Dunn, he popped to the outside suddenly, and it looked like Adam just sort of cut to the inside abruptly right as he went to brake, and that's what locked it up. But he was able to carry speed through 2 and is back out front. But look at Coutil now. Thought he was going to try and sneak down inside of Dunn. Dunn expecting it here and protecting.
Yeah, he's trying to see if he can make that pass work on the outside, and Adams did that through turn number 1 and 2. He's able to stay there, and he got the pass done going into turn number 4. A little bit of smoke coming out of the back of that Myers Motorsports CRX, so hopefully that's not going to be a problem here later on in the race.
Well, and again, remember the contact. I wonder if that might not be just laying down on that tire a little bit, and that could be a concern. If it's just a slight bit of rub, it might be all right. If it's pushed in enough where it could cut the tire, that's going to be a great concern. Ira 4th, Leverone in the 5th spot, but Adam Roberts, great job. And as I said, he came through the divisional path. Most of the people here at the Runoffs qualified through majors competition, and you had to start, and you also have to make sure that you attend a certain number of majors. But if you don't want to do that, you can run your divisional series, and if you do well enough in that, you can qualify. That's what Roberts did, and he is hooked up. But that smoke, that didn't look like tire, that looked like center car.
Yeah, it sure did, and that's coming from the engine. You saw a bigger puff of smoke when he upshifted that car as well. So a little bit of oil blow-by from the rings. We'll see if it tightens up a little bit as we go, or is it going to get worse? And hopefully that car is not hurt. It would be devastating for your pole sitter and leader here early on.
Yeah, he's driven such a brilliant race thus far. Now watch Garrett Dunn. I'll tell you what, Garrett's car's got some straight line, and he makes that pop move to the outside. This time, looks like he's cleared him. And see, you can get deeper into the brakes. It's going to be Garrett this time. But again, you see Adam just trying to stay put, but Garrett got the run enough here. You can see there's a bunch of gravel right at the apex of turn 2 up on the track. Somebody ran through, so you got to be careful there. And look at Carroll trying to just stuff it back down the inside of Garrett. He's there.
Yeah, Adam Roberts makes that pass there. And they just touched right there. A little bit of tire smoke, a little side by side, as Dunn does not want to give it up, because this is the key corner here in turn number 6. He'll have the inside in the hairpin coming back onto Holman here to the right-hander.
Yeah, but I don't know. Look at Adam. He's going to try and stay put. He does. Flicks it to the inside into 6A, and Adam Roberts gets back to the front. But again, continuing to see that little bit of smoke and that little bit of jockeying. Boy, I'll tell you, I've thought for a minute there that Eric Coutil in that white-nosed number 82, he's looking to the inside this time of Garrett Dunn, down into 7, and he's through.
Yeah, hopefully that'll let Roberts kind of cool off a little bit, start checking those gauges, making sure there's not a problem. You can't really go into save mode with these 2 guys behind you attacking at full strength, but it's going to be Coutil into 2nd, Dunn into 3rd, Ira back and forth, and John Smith just got around Leverone for that 5th place.
Still seeing those little puffs of smoke from the back of our leader, Adam Roberts. And the team is going to be very concerned about that. There it is again. So top 3, you just pointed them out. Who will be leading when we come back from our break? You can never be sure in Super Touring Lite, so stay with us. Now look at this, folks, with us here on the web. Coutil, once he got through, undone now, able to get the run and get down to the inside of Roberts. A spin back in the pack to 100. That is John W. Roberts out of Grapevine, Texas in the BFD Racing Mazda. A couple of wins in major competition, but didn't get the run he wanted in qualifying. Garrett Dunn now trying to come back on Adam Roberts.
Yeah, Coutil doing a great job getting around Roberts there, and the kind of the same wheelbase on these cars, the EK chassis, just a little bit longer than the EG CRXs here. And you see them coming around, and the DC2 Integra Cliff Ira, and lifting that inside rear wheel as many of these front wheel drive cars will do. And then right behind them, you see that newer Civic Si chassis. So just a great parity of different chassis and platforms you can run here. And just at the beginning of our show, we talked about you have to maintain the original manufacturer and layout of your car, but it's pretty well open as long as you stay below that 2-liter normally aspirated restriction.
And it really, as we talked about, it's taken some cars that might not have been competitive and allowed them to be, for a modest investment, to be right back in the window for competition here. We're going to be coming back for our CBS Sports Network coverage, so hang tight. A new leader in STL. We told you things can change here. It is last year's silver medalist Eric Coutil out of Columbus, Ohio in the 82 Carbotech Grid Life Honda Civic, leading now down into turn number 1. But look at the battle behind pole sitter Adam Roberts in that black CRX, and Garrett Dunn, 4th qualifier, in the orange one. They're continuing an immense scrap for second.
Yeah, good battle there, but and you see these second generation of the CRX SIs, the 80s started in 87 and worked their way up into that chassis with that rear window on the back hatch. That's how you can tell the difference between the 85 and 86 model. Cliff Ira, that is just one beautiful looking DC2 Integra as well, and he's up to the 4th place. And we talked about that controversy there at Daytona International Speedway that he had, but able to get the win in the STL category. John Schmidt, that longer, and it's sort of like the Honda Prelude, the big chassis car, should be really good around here with that longer wheelbase, a lot more stable, running in that top 5.
And up from 8th, so a good opening group of laps by John Schmidt to do that. He's dropped Leverone, you could see sitting in behind. And then the 17 of Shanfield has put together a very strong run. He too, it looks like, has got around Leverone, Shanfeld, and he has been able to work his way by Nick Leverone. So a good run there in that number 17 entry.
He's working, that's that brand new Civic Si chassis, about a 2007 to 2011 chassis car. You see the front splitter, and I got aero on these cars now with the back wing. And a lot of these cars coming from, you see that THR Honda Research. And there's either Honda Research in the Ohio region, and they have the Honda Research West out west, and it's just a group of guys at work and gals at Honda, and they get to come out here and they get to work on their cars. They build the cars, they come race them, they go back to work on Monday, working at the Honda, developing those chassis and engines in the future.
And he's up from 14th to 7th, having a great run. Let's get down to pit lane. What's unfolding down there, Hayward?
Guys, I was just at the pit spot for the 03 car Roberts. That car did not roll onto track until Tuesday this week. They've only got 3 days of qualifying on it. I asked him about the smoke. He shrugged and said it always smokes.
That's a typical Sam Myers answer right there as well. You know, I'd get on the radio with him and say, hey, I got a problem. He's like, there's not a problem. That's what it always does. Just drive.
Motivational. Just, that's the normal deal. Go after it here. And you know, in these cars, they're fairly stressed. We're used to seeing that with the prod cars and the like. With some of the older components, they just have a little bit of blow by, and it smokes a little bit. Big wiggle there by Shanfeld. He is pushing.
Yeah, he's doing a good job. We saw him compete a couple of years ago in that Acura TL in the STU category, but it's a big, huge chassis car. Switching over now to STL to go to the lightweight car. Just really can't compete in that car. As you see Leverone dropping a couple wheels off there on the exit of turn number 6A. A lot of debris out here on the track now.
And right behind those guys, the number 7 is Tyler Chambers in that Honda America race team Honda Civic. And he's got the noticeable colors on that, black, red, and then white sides on that car. Having a good run at this point, sitting up in the 8th spot.
Yeah, not sure if that was the car that Kevin Boehm drove last year. It's the same livery, so
I think it might well
within
be
the same family of all the Honda people here, it could be that same chassis. And speaking of family, got to give a shout out to my dad, Thomas Lepper. Unfortunately, was qualified for the STL, won the Western region in the STL category, and work gets in the way of racing. Unfortunately, wasn't able to make the runoffs. And Carl Young, also from California, broke a transmission a little bit earlier. And speaking of anniversaries and running, how about 10 years for the guy that's sitting here in our ears, Clark Camburn, Apex Broadcast, doing this for 10 years now. Congratulations there, bud.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It's does an amazing job, no question about it, and covering all of these races here at the Runoffs. It's an immense chore, and get it done incredibly well. I mean, it's just such a huge, you know, you've got near 1,000 entries, 28 champions, 24 races, and a limited amount of time to get in and get it done. And then somehow the guy is able to go out and race in Spec Miata and sometimes in STL.
Yeah, speaking of work getting away, he qualified 44th in STL and sitting in the booth now decided that he was here for Spec Miata, needed the extra time, and got that Spec Miata race, finished in the top 20, so good run for him, and look for way better results at Sonoma.
Oh, absolutely, and look at this, man, the
what a scrap
17
with
of
John
Schanfeld
Schmidt.
and Schmidt. It's fun to watch.
Especially when they're sitting on the pits parked next to each other there in the paddock area, and the best of friends as well, and they get fierce competitors on the track.
And Leverone watching just can't do anything with them at this stage in terms of the pace. Looks like there might be a little something at the back of the number 7 of Chambers, just dragging just a little bit. Might be part of the reason that he's just not quite able to run up and get on the tail of some of these guys in front. Oh, a little puff now too from Coutil. Did you see that?
Yeah, these little Hondas, you know, they have a lot of oiling problems because they require so much pressure to run that VTEC, the variable tail. Another right front lockup. We saw that down there in turn number 1, and he's found that flat spot, but they had that really high oil pressure to control that variable valve timing, and they run them so high strung here at the high RPMs. We see these guys shifting at 9,000, 9,500 RPMs. Really, you have to have these motors on kill, and they smoke every once in a while.
Yeah, they do, and you can see Coutil and Roberts have now dropped Garrett Dunn just a little bit. He's back as of last lap about 2.5 seconds, and they come through and complete another lap, the 6th, here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Still lots of racing to unfold in Super Touring Lite. We'll be back with it in just a minute. Coverage of the SCCA National Championship Runoffs is presented by Mazda. Driving matters.
Every stitch is a part of me. All these shapes and designs express our devotion to craftsmanship. I want people to feel our passion when they touch it and when they drive it.
The all-new Mazda CX-5. Can you feel something without touching it? See something with your eyes closed. When everything is designed around you, the driver, you can. The Mazda 3.
Welcome back, everybody, to Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Your leader works his way through the very tight and twisty turn 12 and 13 complex as Eric Coutil drops those rights, just hammering the throttle, trying to drive away from pole sitter the 0-3 of Adam Roberts as they go back on to the main straight in the Yard of Bricks at Indianapolis Motor Speedway Super Touring Lite. We are coming up and completing lap 8 of 19. And Coutil opened it up for a little bit there, but Adam is looks like he's been able to close it back up a bit.
Yeah, and of course that smoke doesn't look like it's affecting that car at all, but that's huge with that right front lockup. He locked it up in turn 1 earlier in the event. We saw him locking up down in turn number 12. He has definitely flat spotted that tire, and it finds its way every time he hit the brakes again. He's gonna have to really manage that brake pedal now.
Well, the problem is, one, it reduces your ability to be aggressive on the brakes, and secondly, if you let it continue, it can eventually take that tire right down to the cords, and it'll pop. And that's not something you want around this track. Have a quick look here. This is the 83 of Mark Utek, and I'll tell you, just an absolutely great story. Mark is a driver that has been running an SCCA competition. He's done ice racing. He really defines the Sports Car Club of America. He came through the divisional path. He said, I want to support my division. That's why I'm going to do it. And little bit of a personal history with me. When I did my first ever autocross, Mark was the guy that was running the autocross and did a little instructional school, took me under wing, got me involved in autocross, and eventually let me drive his big Dodge Challenger, old version Dodge Challenger, in prepared stuff. And I'll tell you what, he ended up winning Rookie of the Year his first year when he went road racing in Land O'Lakes region. And I was fortunate, won Rookie of the Year the next year, and he presented it to me. And we've been good friends ever since. And he said, this is a small budget. It's just he and his wife Mary that do this. And I'll tell you what, they don't have a lot of money. They know they're not here with a shot to go for the gold. You know what they're here for? Fun. He loves race cars. He loves having fun with race cars, and he loves the camaraderie in SCCA and having a good, solid run right now. Back in the order a little bit, but I'll tell you, there's a grin underneath that helmet that he absolutely is not going to be able to wipe off his face for days. Running 28th.
Wasn't sure they named horse-drawn carriages Dodge Challengers back then. That's pretty cool.
Oh, and I know that wasn't an insult to Mark. It was that arrow was directed right at between my shoulder blades, to be honest with you. But congratulations to Mark for coming out. Second runoffs and having a great time. Up front, having a really good time is Coutil. And he was so close last year. And to have the opportunity here and to be leading like this, I think that's maybe the reason he wanted to get to the front and went for it aggressively, is because he had to chase and chase and chase last year and came up just that short and didn't want to have to deal with that again.
When we talk about how high-strung these cars are, if you can get in that clear, open air, you get the radiator, you get the engine cooler, you have the oil cooler underneath there, you help get that fresh air in there, keep everything cool, keep the temperatures manageable, manage your race. You see Adam Roberts shaking his hand out of that lap car, kind of got hung up in there. And, he's going 110% as well, so there's really not much you can do. You're supposed to stay on your line, which is exactly what that Miata did, so I'm not sure with the frustrations there. You're just sit in second place, you were leading, and just frustration there for Adam Roberts.
Well, you can't hit the disappear button. And as you said, you hold your line. It's your job to get around me. And if you time it to the point where you get hung up a little bit, well, that's not really on me. I'll tell you what, Greg Ira, the last lap, he is now within almost 2.5 seconds of done. So Ira's starting to find some speed and come after him just a little bit. And then this great battle, the 17 of Schanfeld, and Leverone has gone back around Schmidt and is now starting to chase down Schanfeld. And I think it might be the lightweight Mazda later in the run. Those tires might be a little bit stronger, and it's not a front drive car that obviously works those tires a little bit harder. Coming to life.
Yeah, just really it's able to manage those tires and maintain it. You saw Leverone all over the curbing there as they come down through there. And the number 38 STL Miata, Louis Rivera. That's very well known. Tony Rivera running Pearly World Challenge from Brass Monkey Racing as well. It's his dad here enjoying SCCA Club Racing. Speaking of all the different families and history we have here, as there is done getting back through some lap traffic. And here's that battle still with Leverone and Sandfield.
Yeah, that's a good one here, and Leverone really starting to come to life. Isn't that a great camera shot with the sun glinting off of the windshield, hustling down, going down the front straight at Indianapolis, counter race direction, of course, to the 500. But that sequence of corners right there, the very first Formula One race at the U.S. Grand Prix at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. That is the complex, turn 1, 2, and 3 that they ran. I was fortunate to spend a day corner working actually at turn 1 there, and it's just a great sequence of corners. You built so much momentum down that straight, and it's a tricky turn in coming off that banking.
Well, and it tells you the history of this place.
Yeah.
That's only back in 2001 when we had Formula One here, and you think that's still something we're talking about because how special that is. How special it is 1911 with the Marlin Wasp crossing that yard of bricks, the same bricks that these guys are on right now 106 years later.
Yeah, it's such a storied, legendary history here, and to have SCCA now be a part of it is pretty amazing. And it doesn't really matter what you're racing, whether it's, there's been Indy cars on the infield, Indy cars up on the oval. You've had sports car race. Schanfeld hit that curb hard, and that just killed his momentum. But you've got all these people. It doesn't matter. You can say, I raced at, and some people can say, I won at Indy.
Yeah, even a podium or finishing. You've seen celebrations when you cross that checkered flag. It does not matter what kind of celebration you're doing or how you finish. You are a winner here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Sandfeld in that Civic SI kind of recovered a little bit there, and not sure if Leverone has anything left there. I know there was a problem in tech with his Miata on the rear wing, so that didn't lose his times, but they were looking at it pretty closely and get him going again. And competes in a couple different categories here this weekend.
And I think, you know, the reason maybe that Schanfeld was able to recover quickly is if it was a rear drive car and you run off like that, you got to lift for a minute maybe to get it to settle down. A front drive car, just pin it and let it pull you through. And that's what may have saved that position for him. He still runs in 5th up front. It's the 82 of Coutil, the 03 of Roberts, and the 136 of Dunn in the medal positions here at STL and Indy. Those of you with us here on the webcast, just laying out for our CBS Sports Network coverage, again, one of a number of races that is a candidate to be able to be aired on CBS Sports Network in a few months' time. And just working with the formats and the like. Appreciate your patience, and hope you're enjoying the ongoing coverage here, courtesy of Apex Broadcast and the Sports Car Club of America of the Runoffs. We'll be right back with you. And I should say a huge thank you for helping provide this broadcast and presenting it, quite honestly, the fine folks from Mazda. So big thanks to them as well. Onto the front straight comes our 3rd and 4th place competitors. The orange, number 136 of Garrett Dunn, and the white with the green splitter of Greg Ira, and the number 36, excuse me, it's Cliff Ira, my mistake, sorry about that, as he works his way down into turn number 1 and 2. And for a minute there, Jeff, he had closed in a little bit on Dunn, got within about a third, 2-3 seconds or thereabouts, and it's grown a little bit again, hasn't it?
Yeah, about 4-second gap now as Ira sort of lost pace with Dunn there. You know, the front wheel drives cars here really working that front tire a lot, and we'll see if folks like Leverone or Chambers in the Mazdas can start making a move here and start working their way back up as these front wheel drives start wearing those front tires off. But it was Roberts as well. When you talk about the 1st and 2nd place, it was Roberts running about a second a lap quicker now than Coutil. It was up to 4 seconds. It's only down to 1.9, so we could potentially have another battle for the lead here with Dunn stuck in lap traffic. So that 4-second gap back to Ira could be obliterated here depending on where he catches these two cars to try to get around.
And that's part of the cut and thrust of this type of racing, all the variety of different machines, and everybody can run at a little bit different pace. And, you know, honestly, there are some different levels of driver capability and experience as well, and that can play a big difference. When you get to a venue, this is, nobody's raced here before in terms of SCCA competition at the club level. There's a few people that have been able to benefit from running, say, a Trans Am race or whatever here, but on the club level, this is an absolutely clean slate for everybody, and experience knowing what the Runoffs is all about is a huge benefit in those situations, isn't it?
It is, down to every little detail, where to go to tech, the process of tech, how the starts work, how the yellow flags work, where does the yellow flag session end if it's a local yellow. You have to know all of that, and experience gives you that. A lot of these guys learning as they go. Well, we have a big battle for the lead here as Roberts only 0.3 seconds now behind Coutil down that straightaway.
Yeah,
and there he is.
He's through. He is through. So Adam Roberts, superb job. Both of those cars, little puffs of smoke on shifts. Coutil looking to the inside here into this multi-radius, if you will, in terms of different lines. Turn 6. You can go in late and diamond it. You can go in real late and just cut back. You can double apex it. And I'll tell you what, whatever line works best for your car is the one you want to drive. But we've got a great battle for the lead, and they are coming up on a serious clump of traffic here. Once they get around Jim Goffrey, who is one of the legendary drivers, many GT2 national championships for Goffrey. Now having some fun in STL, and they get by him cleanly, but there's a big clump in front of them.
Yeah, a huge clump, and it's going to base on where they can catch this traffic. Will Roberts be able to pull his lead, or could Coutil maybe get back around him and get that done? I like to see Goffrey's car painted the same way as his Nissan 350Z that he runs in GT2.
Isn't that cool?
Kind of the same number and everything. It looks really cool there for Goffrey. There's that right front lockup.
Boy, how is he keeping that tire alive,
Oh,
Jeff?
man,
I'm impressed. And quick enough to not only lead, but take the lead.
The big advantage I think he's going to have is that when he is locking that right front tire up, it's the unloaded side. He doesn't have it loaded there, so it's not really grinding into the track. It's more just dragging along. But there's 6 laps to go, 5 as they cross the line. It could go at any time. He's going to still have to be very, very careful, especially now that he's run back down Coutil and leading this race.
Absolutely, and take a look here. Oof. Look at that, it's so close. Working that traffic. I mean, talk about it. This is one of those scenarios. You've got to the lead. You've got a very fast guy behind you, and you've got to somehow cleanly get through some of these cars.
And you have to really, hopefully, that the lap traffic knows that you're the leader coming through. If the guys aren't paying attention, aren't checking their mirrors, they don't know who's coming there. They might race you a little hard, thinking they're going to lose a position, and you're actually the overall leader trying to come through. But it looks like a lot of the lap traffic here doing a great job staying out of the way in this battle for our lead in STL.
That's one of the things when you're running at the runoffs, and you've run in SCCA nationals, majors, and the like as the season unfolds here. One of the cool things is you understand how some of the flagging works, and you can tell by how vigorously a flag is waved, seriously, as to how close the guy that's coming, and if it's really being waved. It's a pretty good indicator that it may be more than one car that's coming underneath you, and it does mean check your mirrors, and that's always the big concern, isn't it? When you're the second car in a good close battle, and the first guy gets underneath somebody, and you want to go with him, is that car you're passing aware that there's more than just that first guy coming through?
It really was, and that's that blue with the yellow striped flag. And if you're a member of, I believe it was one of the central regions of SCCA, they made a meaning of all the flags, and when you have the blue and yellow flag, it means there's a race going on and you're not in it.
Ooh, that's a harsh way to put it, but in a sense, yeah. By the rule book, it says check your mirrors, but yeah, that's sort of the unintended but well-known meaning here. As we now complete number 15 in terms of laps, that means we have 4 to go. And again, this battle at the front, Roberts, as Coutil takes a look, not close enough. Heading down, there's that little bit of lockup again, but again, Roberts controls it beautifully and able to lead down into turn number 1 and 2. So as this battle continues, we're going to step away so we can come back and take it to the finish here in the Super Touring Lite Run to the National Championship at Indy. We're going to be laying out here, folks, in our CBS Sports coverage for just a little bit, but I'll tell you, this is turning into a very compelling battle, and I'll tell you what, I guess, yeah, it always smokes. Well, it certainly is working okay right now.
Yeah, it really is, as he's putting that down there, and I know Sam Myers down in pit lane probably chewing his fingernails, wondering if Adam, his young driver here, can make it. Oh, and here's Goffrey going backwards, spinning there, and that's in the S's out of turn number 7.
He just kept on rolling backward there. Makes you wonder if he's got a brake issue.
Yeah, a lot of folks having brake problems here at this weekend. You're going to want to run those brake ducts, and I know in my car we put all brand new braking system on it. We're on our 2nd set of rotors and 3rd set of brake pads here this weekend, so it's a very hard track here on courses. Oh, a big heads up driving there by that Mazda Miata not to turn in, and Goffrey will get that turn and back underway.
When you're facing oncoming traffic in a huge pack of cars, that's not very comfortable. But that's where somebody with his experience, James Goffrey, has been running for so many years here, nice and calm, and realized what he needed to do. Working through traffic are 2 leaders. Adam Roberts from the pole. He's been back as far as 3rd, leads once again in that Honest Speed Shop Honda CRX SI. Right behind him is the guy who finished 2nd last year. Started 3rd, Eric Coutil in his Carbotech Auto Assets Grid Life Honda Civic, and these guys have been putting on an absolutely marvelous show, swapping the positions a couple of times. Let's go back and take a look at how Roberts was able to pick that lead up. Coutil just overshot there.
Yeah, went a little bit wide, and that sort of got him off his rhythm, and Roberts did a great job pulling to the outside of him and sort of pinching him down and holding him there, and then able to defend into turn number 3 and get the lead.
and doing it all with a flat spot on that right front tire. So pretty impressive what our pole sitter Adam Roberts has been able to do. Let's get back down to pit lane quickly and check in with Hayward.
Hey guys, real quick, I just talked to Robert's crew again about that flat spot. They believe that he's locking the inside rear because it's unloaded under braking, lifting it up off the ground a little bit, and that's what's causing the smoke.
All right, and a big dive by Kutil into turn number 7. But that is not a tight 90-degree corner. There's a little bit more flow to it. And Roberts just carried that outside line and carried a bit more speed in and was able to get back into position. But I'll tell you, Hayward, you may want to let those guys know that we've been watching it for a few laps out here, and it sure looks like the inside, the right front, that's locking up to us.
Yeah, I can tell he's running the 4 lug, not the 5, because you can count all the lugs on that CRX there coming through that braking zone down into turn number 1. You just see there's a great shot of the number 0 Miata there pointing those leaders by. He doesn't want any part of this. Now Coutillo's going to be on the back bumper of Roberts coming here under the oval. We know that that hatchback has a little bit more speed and straightaway motor here. Can Roberts catch a little bit of a draft from that lap car down into turn number 1 and protect over Coutillo?
And the question is also what's Roberts going to do in terms of a defense? You see him moving over. He's just sort of angling down there. At a certain point, that would have been called blocking, so he pops back up. There's that lockup again. What happens here? Roberts able to hang on.
Yeah, pinched him down there a little bit, caused Coutillo to run over the curb, but did just leave him enough room as Coutillo looking back to the outside here. 2 laps to go. Oh, Coutillo, put your foot down, son. There you go. Accelerate right out of that, straighten that front wheel drive car out, and only lost about a car length.
He's just doing a little rallying. He's just having some fun. That's a rally turn he executed right there.
Yeah, who said you can't drift a front wheel drive car? Eric Coutillo proving you can.
But that did cost him just a little bit here. Car length or 2 perhaps. Out of turn 10. Excuse me, out of turn 6A onto this long Holman Boulevard straight. Both of them now coming up on the back. I think that's the 83 of Mark Utek.
I think Coutillo was kind of paying attention to where he was trying to get around Roberts before. I don't think he can make the pass on the draft. He's going to do it. He's going to have to do it down here in turn number 1 now as they're coming bound through out of turn number 10 into 11. You got 12, 13, 14th, and then it's 1 to go.
And he needs to be close enough, as you said, to be able to get down to the inside and lead, because once you get out of turn 1, barring traffic, and that can always play a little bit of a role here. Coutillo thinking about it, but realized if he dove to the inside, 1, it could end in tears, and 2, it could really have parked him. And that's the last thing you want to see here, but it parked him enough, didn't it? He is way back right now.
Yeah, lost about 3 car lengths there on that momentum. He'll gain a little bit of it back here on the draft down the straightaway. His last little chance here is going to be able to pop out on the end. What happens here? Does Roberts defend? Does Coutillo go to the inside? We'll know here in about 500 yards. They're down into the braking zone now.
And as we said, oh, and that time was there just a touch?
Little bit of a contact there. He got right into the back bumper. They're both hard on the brakes, but no harm, no foul there. Just close racing here in STL.
Boy, this is incredibly close, and traffic lies ahead, and that could play such a key role here. And watching it that time, I didn't know, they might have been right. That time it did look like it was the right rear that was locked as a bit too. So tough to tell from some of the angles here, but boy, I'll tell you, this traffic they're coming up on right now. Look at this, Roberts trying to time it so that he gets a full run out of 6A and then is able to make the pass, and he does it to absolute perfection. Coming up on the back of the 81 of Rich Walke. I've been following Rich Walke racing in Sendiv for a lot of years. And they're right on his 6 right now, working through this serpentine section of racetrack. Parked them both in contact. Coutillo trying to decide which way to go and just got into the back of Walke. And I'll tell you what, though, Roberts got balked a little bit as well, so it didn't hurt Coutillo too bad.
Yeah, sort of hurt them equally there as they come down here. There's one last chance for Coutil here to breathe it out and try to get a good run here. Goes down to the inside. Does he stick his nose in there and doesn't give way this time? Roberts to the outside. It's going to be an acceleration here. Robert got the corner way better there. Should be able to go down and get the checkered flag.
Absolutely. Almost looked like Coutil may have missed a shift when he got up on the curbing. Here comes your pole sitter, Adam Roberts. It wasn't flag to flag, but he put a pole to checkers win into the books. He is a national champion in Super Touring Lite in only his second runoff start. What a fabulous story. Coutil will end up second, and it is Garrett Dunn bringing it home in third. And he was fifth last year, so Garrett continuing to march up the order, bronze.
Yeah, good job for him getting that final podium spot. Cliff Ira there in fourth and Stanfield into fifth.
Boy, and look at that hand out the window. What a celebration, but well earned by Adam Roberts out of Hilliard, Ohio. And we'll be back to hear from him in just a sec. Yeah.
Honest. only wheel wrong, right? Awesome. Sorry, they're on the web, just talking to our producers here, trying to get the call here for CBS. We'll be right back.
Adam Roberts brings the beautiful black and gold Honda CRX with which he just earned a gold medal. It's going to match very nicely into the interview area here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway as he is the Super Touring Lite National Champion at the 54th running of SCCA's National Championship Runoffs. The window net comes down, the helmet is coming off, and then he's just a bit overwhelmed here right at the moment, and one can totally understand that. And I think he's just trying to compose himself, knowing that Hayward's standing by with a microphone. And he unbuckles.
Thank you.
Yeah, there's the smile. He is ready for it. He has earned it. And it is time to get down to Hayward and hear from this young man.
Adam, a great battle between you and Eric. Those last couple of corners, super tight, a lot of traffic. How does it feel to bring this car to victory lane?
I don't even know. I can't find the words right now to describe this. Early on in the race, Eric got around me. He got probably a few second gap on me, but I never slowed down. I never gave up. I saw traffic coming. Traffic definitely hurt him in that race, but that's racing. Sometimes you got to use it to your advantage, and I did. He gave me a ton of pressure after that, gave me a little nudge going down into turn one, got alongside me. It was an epic last lap, but I drove with everything I had in me for this, so very happy, very happy.
Now, you were not able to get this car out on Monday qualifying. You had to qualify from the back on Tuesday. Talk about the effort to get from the back of the field on Tuesday to the front on Saturday.
Well, it just makes this so much more worth it. Last week we didn't have parts that showed up in time. A good friend, Chandler Rowe, said, come get the cams out of my engine. We got the cams out his engine. That was last Thursday. We were supposed to dyno this last Saturday. Car wouldn't run. Sam, the car owner, car chief, never gave up. We got the car together. We missed Monday, but we knew it wasn't going to hurt us that bad. We just stayed focused on the end goal, and we came here and did what we knew what we needed to do.
We'll go out there and take one more lap around this racetrack.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, I think that emotion just says it all. One, the importance of the runoffs itself here when you are a Sports Car Club of America competitor and going for a national championship, but two, to be able to say you won that national championship at Indy. As we take a look at our provisional top 10 here, Roberts, Coutil, Dunn earned the medals. Cliff Ira, a great run, still right there in fourth. Brian Schanfeld, a superb effort coming from a little bit deeper in the pack, up into fifth. Leverone in sixth. John Schmidt seventh. Darren Treacle, another good run, up into eighth. Craig McHaffey into ninth, and Bob Bede in the 10th spot. But just powerful emotions for these guys, Jeff.
It is, and that talks about what you think about here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. It's amazing.
And when you have one guy get the gold, it means somebody, especially in this case, was chasing him and ended up with the silver. He's standing by with Hayward.
Eric, a big grin on your face. I know silver wasn't the one you were looking for. You've had a great season all along. What's the satisfaction level with the silver here?
You know, I wanted the gold. I worked so hard this year for it, but I'm still glad I finished second. It was an awesome race between Adam Roberts and I. We battled it to the last lap. None of us had tires in the end. It was rough, and then the lap car started getting in the mix. I think I punted one to get him out of the way, and then last corner I misshifted and ruined my run. But glad I finished second. You know, it's Adam Roberts. He's a great driver, so I'm humbled to be behind him. But I mean, we just had such an awesome race. That's what it was for. You know, that was a great time.
Now, a lot of things have to go into the runoffs for it to be successful. A lot of details. You got to get every little thing right. Tell me about putting your belts on in qualifying.
First session on Monday, I was trying to tighten my lower belts, and my hand unfortunately slipped, and I punched myself in the eye, which explains this big shiner right here. So it was a rough start to the week. You know, I had a couple of issues with the car, and but just I'm glad the car held together the whole race. So
well, no black eyes for you here on race day. Congratulations on the silver.
No fights. Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Yeah, wasn't that, yeah, Brad Pitt and Fight Club.
First rule of Indy, we don't talk about Indy.
Exactly. But what an amazing couple of years he's had. 2 silver medals and in the hunt in both of them right to the end. And I think Roberts described it beautifully, and I think obviously from what Eric just said would agree, epic last couple laps, and they were.
Yeah, that was. The battling back and forth, lap traffic coming through, playing a part in that, not knowing what's going to happen and where it's going to turn out for those last 3 or 4 laps is really what makes STL and SCCA club racing so exciting.
And this track obviously be a little tough on tires, as they both said. We're wondering what the story is. Our bronze medalist, Garrett Dunn, was in the hunt but faded a little bit, Hayward.
Fell back a little bit there at the end, but you seem like you just couldn't be happier to be on this podium.
Oh, man, it's been a long run, long year. So, you know, we've been trying really hard to get here, and we put a lot of time, a lot of effort in, and it's just nice to finally get here and have a chance to stand on that podium. These guys, they can drive the wheels off of anything, so to even be next to these guys, it's an accomplishment in itself.
Well, congratulations to you on the bronze here at the runoffs.
Thank you.
Yeah, 5th last year, and he was a fighting 5th at that race at Mid-Ohio, and then to be able to come through and put it on the podium at Indianapolis. Good couple of years for Garrett Dunn. I get the feeling we're going to be seeing a lot more from him in fairly short order. He is a solid driver. It was an incredible race, 57 entries in STL, all kinds of excitement. Here we saw what happened with the number 7 at Chambers getting up on 2 wheels, and just an absolutely fascinating race, Jeff.
Yeah, this battle for the lead. Contact at the very beginning was pretty clean after that, but a lot of great wheels and lockups, a little bump there, sideways here, put your foot down, straighten it out, and taking the win, the national championship, Adam Roberts.
Absolutely fantastic racing, as always, at SCCA's National Championship runoffs, and certainly Super Touring Lite didn't disappoint. It's going to wrap up our coverage. So for Jeff Lepper and for Hayward Wagner and our entire CBS Sports Network crew, I'm Greg Creamer. In association with the Sports Car Club of America, this has been a presentation of CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. Coverage of the SCCA National Championship runoffs is presented by Mazda. Driving matters.
Every stitch is a part of me. All these shapes and designs express our devotion to craftsmanship. I want people to feel our passion when they touch it, and when they drive it.
The all-new Mazda CX-5. Can you feel something without touching it? See something with your eyes closed. When everything is designed around you, the driver, you can. The Mazda 3.